We're going to go ahead and record. Hello, 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 my friends. It is September. How did that even happen? I swear we got here yesterday and it was June. And hopefully you've been enjoying the book clubs and the different summer programming we've been offering here at Sanctuary Online with our summer schedule. And tonight, like I just shared with a few of you, you are in for such a treat. It is the 5th Sanctuary Kitchen. And tonight we finally are ready. We've warmed you up and warmed you up and warmed you up to finally offer you indeed the best meal ever cooked on the planet. So Cheryl, no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
One of my favorites. Let me pop you guys up to the slide deck really quickly. And just saying again, I think all y'all know all this one. And you know all this one. And just to remind folks, don't come June 26th, but come on September 27th, because that's when we're going to be talking about Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. That is our book of the month. All right. So I'm going to drop that baby back down again and get you ready for Cheryl. Would you like to kind of open things up, or do you want me to go ahead and pop the first video up? And let
Well, the first thing is I also want to remind people that in 2 weeks before the book club on
Egypt
20th, we have Egypt, another Egypt tour.
Yes. So if you have enjoyed the Egypt, and who hasn't enjoyed the Egypts, definitely give that a run, and it'll be exciting and wonderful. Barb, you getting ready for that already?
I am, yeah. I've had several meetings with the aliens to make sure that I have everything in aligned.
Thank goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to offer up this first video then, Cheryl. Let me just let the video speak for itself.
Yes.
All right. Let's move these things around. And it's been a little bit interesting, my friends, because as you know, I don't own an iPhone. And so we're hoping these videos work out. We are downloading them off our YouTube channel. So here we go, Cheryl. Coming at you. You all should see Cheryl's screen now, right? There you go. And here we go, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Meyer, and I want to welcome you to Sanctuary Kitchen. Today we're going to be preparing Chicken Little with a side of Brussels sprouts. And I wanted to just start by saying this recipe has been in our family for a long time. When my mother and Joby first met, my mother prepared this Chicken Little, although it wasn't called that at the time. And Joby just adored it. She just loved the whole thing. And I think the thing that she really loved about it was she'd never to that day had any capers. And when she first tasted capers, she fell in love. And so that recipe became one of those, hey, Cheryl, get that recipe from your mom and let's start cooking that. I really like that recipe. I think what she really liked was the capers. But in any case, Chicken Little, we now have it. People say, well, where did that name come from, Chicken Little? Well, I don't know, but I pulled up that old recipe that my mother gave me, and I was looking at it, and it says chicken breasts with lemon and capers. Boring, right? So therefore Chicken Little. And when I further looked at the recipe and all the items on it, I said, wow, I've really changed this. And so then for sure, it deserves a new name. Chicken Little it is, and there you have it. If you look at this plated Chicken Little, as from my mother's old recipe, it looks very beautiful. And I just want to say, sometimes mine turns out looking like that, sometimes not so much. And I want to share with you a little bit more later. You'll find out why it doesn't always look as beautiful.
You're on frozen on mine.
I am not in Texas, so I don't have my sanctuary apron. So here I am in Joe's mom's kitchen. I call her Mom.
Not moving at all, Joe.
And cooking in Cadillac, Michigan. And I'm wearing one of my favorite aprons, which my cousins Tracy and Jim gave me on my 60th birthday. And so this is it. And I'll try not to allow the influence of the wine to affect me too much as I'm preparing this food. But I gotta warn you that this recipe first came from my mom. It's her idea, right? And she is one of those people who always cooks with wine and sometimes puts a little in the food.
Are you guys not getting the video play?
No, no video, just the audio.
Let me quickly flip internets then and see if I can get a better signal up here.
And Samantha has that little picture that mommy had, that tile that says that. The cooking with wine, I put it in the food.
And with your mom, it was actually true. We at least know that for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Samantha does that like you.
You could hear the audio up to that point?
We could hear the audio, just not, there we go.
You know, so we'll see what happens here. All right, let's start to prepare the chicken. What I do is I buy 3 chicken breasts, skinless, boneless, and I buy the kind that say no antibiotics, humanly raised, vegetable fed, no hormones or steroids. Joey calls them happy chickens. And so these are the nice chickens that we buy. And we want to first take the chicken and we want to pound it to the thickness that we want. Now, when I first started doing this, I used to just pound it directly on the cutting board. And it made a big chicken mess all over the place, raw chicken, ugh, you know. And then Tom Cole saw me doing it and he said, why don't you just put a piece of saran wrap over the top of the cutting board and then put the chicken on and then put a piece of saran wrap on the top and then pound it. And I'm like, oh my God, what a wonderful idea. Genius. Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate that. So you take the chicken, put it between those 2 pieces of saran wrap, and you start pounding it with your little pounding tool. And you want to get it down to be between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. Now, one thing to remember is you want to pound with the flat side. I made the mistake once of pounding with the tenderizing side. Not a good result at all. So, again, pounding it down to get to that place where it's between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. All right. Now, when we've got that done, you can open up your one saran wrap there and take your piece of chicken, and it's gotten quite large now, this breast, because of the pounding. So I cut it into portion sizes, and I use kitchen scissors because I think that's easier than using a knife. It just works a little bit better for me, and these happen to come from Cutco, so they're very nice kitchen scissors, as a matter of fact. All right.
I forgot the code that all right means next video or means we're done.
She should have said, all right, all right, all right.
It was supposed to be a pause, Joe, because we weren't finished preparing the chicken.
It's a pause, but we just didn't want you guys to have to watch Cheryl prepare pound all of them. So hold on one second and I'll key this back up again. Hopefully you can see it good. Oh, who's that? Is that the right video, Cheryl?
I don't know.
Of course it is.
Cheryl, who's your sous chef? Oh, this is Bader, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's helping me with she's my sous chef. And thank you also, Joe, for pausing for a moment. I didn't think we needed to have everybody watch me pound all the chickens. So we are ready now. We've pounded them and we've actually salted and peppered one side of each of the chicken portions, which it calls to have salt and pepper on both sides. Now, I'm going to do this So what I like to do is I'll pepper it first. Doesn't matter
Yes, speak, Cheryl, speak.
which one you do first, obviously. I didn't think we needed to have everybody watch me pound all the chickens, so we are ready now. We've
There we go.
See if that kicks it into play.
pounded them, and we've
Yeah.
actually salted and peppered one side of each of the chicken portions, which it calls to have salt and pepper on both sides. Now, I'm going to do this. So what I like to do is I'll pepper it first. Doesn't matter that much which one you do first, obviously. All right. Now, I want you to notice when I'm salting this, okay, that I'm kind of holding it up a little bit high. You know, my sister Kelly says that if you hold it a little higher, it makes the salt and pepper go on more evenly, right? So I gotta tell you something. Hanging around people like Tom and my sister Kelly is a really good thing to do because they can give you all kinds of tips for cooking. I kind of think that maybe they watch cooking shows for a living, maybe. Anyway, we are prepared with the chicken, and so now let's go ahead and start getting everything else ready for the cooking. See you right back.
Well done, honey. How you like that, Kelly? Getting a plug in there, eh?
I did. I got some credit.
And this is how it looks from a still picture. So properly salted and from a height and properly peppered as well, right, Cheryl? Both sides?
Right.
Any questions or comments or conversation there, honey?
It looks
I think
delicious.
one of the things was I used garlic salt instead of salt. And I think I say that in a later video, but I forgot to say that I almost always use garlic salt.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what? There you go.
There.
And let's prep them Brussels sprouts. How's that sound?
Oh, good.
Oops,
Welcome back.
Goodness.
We're going to start with
the technology person needs to get fired.
welcome back.
Firing the technology person.
So now you know how Barb works all the time.
I know. Here we go.
We're going to start with the Brussels sprouts now, and I'll tell you just, it's a side dish, and we're just going to make it really quickly for you. If you'll notice, Joby's taking photos or showing you close-ups. During the break here, she dressed me and made sure that my collar was looking nice. So there you go. I'm more ready for, you know, good TV or
You're
something. I don't
ready
know
for
what.
prime time now,
Prime
honey.
time, yeah, prime time TV.
Dear God,
so.
no one checked her what she was wearing.
Okay. All right. So Brussels sprouts. First thing I did was I just took 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts and I went ahead and took off the outer leaves and cut them up in halves and then put them all in this bowl. So what I'm going to do is add 3 tablespoons of olive oil.
EVOO.
EVOO. Okay? And with that 3 tablespoons, I want to go ahead and get all of the Brussels sprouts coated with this olive oil. So I'm going to mix them in really good and make sure they all get coated with the olive oil. Because the next thing I'm going to put on is something that I want to stick to the olive oil coated Brussels sprouts, and that is garlic salt and pepper. Now this recipe calls for regular salt, as did, by the way, the chicken that we sprinkled with salt and pepper. But I always, if it calls for salt and it's a sprinkle or an add-in or something, I almost always put in garlic salt because I think it adds a little bit more flavor and spiciness, and it's just what I do. So I'm going to put in.
And as her daughter said long ago, Cheryl never met a recipe she couldn't adjust.
Well, there you have it. Okay, so here's goes the salt and pepper in here. And once again, I want all of the Brussels sprouts to have some, so I'm going to mix this in really thoroughly. Make sure all of the Brussels sprouts get a little bit of coating of the salt and pepper. Garlic salt and pepper, okay? So that's good. And now I'm gonna take these Brussels sprouts that are ready to eat now, and I'm gonna dump them onto a baking sheet which has been covered in foil. And I do that because I don't like to clean up, and this helps keep some of the cleanup mess contained. Okay?
You don't clean up, Cheryl. I clean up.
So in any case, I like to make it easier for everybody else who's going to clean up.
You're mean, Joe.
Right? So there you have it. Those are laid out in a single layer now, and we're gonna try to get them to come out at about the same time that the chicken does. When you fix these roasted Brussels sprouts, you bake them at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and do it for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're done and there's some brown crispies on them, that sort of thing. And so that's what we've done. And now back to the chicken.
Okay, honey. I gotta believe
It's
there's,
pretty basic and pretty easy, guys.
well, isn't that the fun thing about it? Same with my pork tenderloin last month, someone made it right off the video, you know, so some of the nice basic stuff is really what we're looking for, right? For some summer cooking.
Looking at the chicken breasts on the sheet, how many would that serve? Like, you serving up pieces, you said. So like, would it serve 4 or 6?
Yeah, usually 4, because people tend to eat more than one of those pieces. And
Yeah.
So I would say with three breasts like that, I would say 4. Yeah, I usually cook more if I could serve even more than 4. There, you might have a little leftovers, but that's what I would do.
Okay.
And Cheryl, why don't we let's go away from the video for a minute and you can explain your magical prep here with the ingredients. I'll just click through them kind of quickly, okay?
Well, I do that in the video, Joe.
Right, I know, but I'm gonna do close-ups.
Okay. All right, so. Okay. You got close-ups. All right, so obviously you can see, oh, there it is, ingredients and preparation. There we go. I don't know what you want me to say about it.
I was just hoping for a
Well,
little,
I say it in the video.
I was hoping for a tiny bit of banter.
Oh.
But you don't want
You
to
don't make your own breadcrumbs?
Okay, so this next
Yeah.
video, I've lost control of my phone. That's when I was able to see if the video is going or not. So you'll need to speak up and share with me, okay? If the video's not going.
I can't tell, Joe. I was just gonna chat that to you because your phone went black, so I can't tell.
Right, I'll come down once I start this video. We're still uploading one of the videos. When I went on Zoom on my phone, the upload started to go like turtle crawl. So when this video's on, Cheryl, I will come down and check things out, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. This is the critical one, y'all, to watch. The perfection coming at you for 4 minutes. Let me share my screen over here. Ready, Cheryl? Looks like you've been drinking.
Welcome back. And just to let you know that the wine has started to kick in, so, you know, beware.
That's good.
When I'm preparing food like this, we want your chicken, after it's fried, to be served immediately or as soon as possible afterwards, so it's nice and crispy and hot. And so therefore, I get all the things ready ahead of time that I'm gonna need after I plate the chicken. So over here, I've set up my lemon slices. I have 2 lemons that I've sliced up because we're going to place these on top of the cooked chicken once they're done. I also have the capers. I've got 4 ounces of capers here that we're going to put into the sauce. And I also have a half a cup of lemon juice that I'm going to put into the sauce. And you can use real lemons and squeeze your own lemon juice, and that's fine. Today I'm just using real lemon out of a bottle, and it'll work just fine. All right, so over here I have my heating oil is heating up, and I have 5 to 6 tablespoons of oil. It's heating up to medium-high heat, so it's ready to go. I've got my oven warming up so that I can put the Brussels sprouts in. The chicken is over here and is ready to go. I even have a platter to plate the chicken when I'm done, and a piece of foil to put over the top of it to cover it to keep it warm. So everything is prepared. The next thing I'm going to do is get some of these Italian breadcrumbs and throw some here on the plate. And we're going to use these breadcrumbs to dredge the chicken in before we put it into the oil and cook it.
Dredge the chicken?
Isn't that the word? I think so. Anyway.
Just sounds kind of.
Dredge is a word that you use for bread.
Go ahead.
Anyway, right
Oh, you're funny.
this now, I'm going to go ahead, before we start cooking the chicken, I'm going to go ahead and put in the Brussels sprouts into the oven. And like I said, it's been warmed to 400 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and set my timer for 15 minutes and start it. And that should bring it, and they should be ready about the same time as the chicken is.
Your sous chef is wanting a little more camera time here.
All right, so we start dredging the chicken, and we're going to put these in to the oil.
What kind of oil?
It's olive oil. I said that 5 to 6 tablespoons of olive oil that we're cooking this chicken in, and you can just fill up the skillet with chicken. It won't probably all fit the first time. We'll see how much of it fits.
You're a very good dredger, honey.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Cheryl, did your breadcrumbs have any spices or
It's
herbs
the
in
word
them?
of the day.
This is the word of the day, yeah. Maybe that dredge should be one of those words.
Wait, and ask in after the
One of the
video.
words
okay?
ready. I'm going to dredge Joby through the breadcrumbs today. Oops. Don't forget to dredge it.
I almost forgot to dredge it after all that talk about dredging.
The wine's kicking in.
All right, so what you want to do is cook these pieces of chicken for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Because they're pretty thin, you really don't need to cook them for any longer than that. And you want them to come out moist, although you do want them cooked. So that's the way you do it, is for probably 2 to 3 minutes in the cooking. Okay? All right. We'll be back shortly when the chicken's ready.
All right. So thank you, Jane Ann. Dredge is a word you use for that. Right? Do you guys use that word, dredge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Honey,
I mean,
what's
it's a very,
English
it's an
teacher-
English
teacher
word. It's a
said
very
yes.
English word.
Yeah, okay. Maybe I learned it in Canada. Probably somebody in Canada used it.
That's what I've always called it too.
You call it that too, Kelly? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know any other word for it.
Yeah, I just, when I looked it up, there's what, Tom, tell me. Say, you're on mute, Tom. You have to come off mute, Tom. Tom, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
While he's getting his act together, is there any herbs or spices in the breadcrumbs?
Just not any additional. It's Italian breadcrumbs, so I just use Italian
Oh,
bread.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, good, thanks.
And yeah, that the first, yeah, he can't figure out how to get off of mute. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom.
Hold on,
Tom,
who uses an
I'm sure
iPad?
that Tom says dredge,
Put
right?
put your mouse in the bottom left corner and you'll see the mute to click
He's
or
on
not.
he's on an iPad. Who else uses an iPad?
Oh, I don't know how to do it on an iPad.
Anyway,
No, Cheryl. Let's talk about the
Can
dredging.
dredge
I thought we
Yeah.
would use the word coat.
you thought coat them instead of dredge them. And I looked up dredge, and I know it does have a pretty nasty meaning for one of the meanings of it, but dredge is a word to use for cooking.
That's what they show on the cooking channel.
Dredging?
I
No,
think
they
they're-
don't. No way, Kelly. They would use coating.
No, they, I think they have different meanings.
See, Tom's shaking his head. He says they use
Yes.
dredge, right?
They
Right,
have
Tom?
two different
Oh,
meanings.
Yeah.
They're two different meanings.
It's all semantics, but I'm gonna tell you, the dredging is the verb. The coating is what it comes out as when it's coated in
Oh,
coat.
good.
Oh, we dredge it to put a coating onto it, Jane Ann?
Yes, yes.
Ah, that's what Tom says. Yay, you got it finally. Good. All right.
Well, Cheryl, I'm gonna show a couple of your, a couple of these. Let's see here. We've got some still pictures that you can speak to. So over here, we are stovetop ready, right?
Everything is ready. The chicken, I like to get everything as ready as possible so that I'm not in a panic mode of where's this and where's that? Oh my God, I have this and this. So I try to get it all ready at the same time.
So that's the chicken
you-
before it goes in, right?
Yeah, before it goes in. Correct.
Before we dredged it.
Yes.
Let me see here. And then she's pretty proud of that. Everything's ready, you know, very Cheryl, right?
Well, that has a name, like something like Moss and Paw or some words like that. Tom's probably dying laughing, but there's some word like that means all the ingredients in place.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
really?
Mhm.
There's a word for that?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be in Wordle
Yeah,
tomorrow.
it's a French word, and the cooking school, I have a friend who's a chef of a cooking school, owner of a cooking school, and she always takes a photo of everything all prepped and ready on the top of the stove. Like whether there's a wine bottle, whether there's breadcrumbs, and it starts with an M, but I can't pronounce it. What did you say, Kelly? You said,
Something like Moss and Paw. I don't know.
well, it is something
Tom
like
could probably
that.
type
yeah.
it in chat.
I
Yeah.
forget what the name is.
Hilarious. Well, whatever the name is, Cheryl does it. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. And then Cheryl, this next one has
Oh,
these
that looks
pillows
good.
on one side, and then you flip them over. And how long did you say, Cheryl? About 2 to 3 minutes on each side?
2 to 3 minutes on each side. That's all you need because they're thin. And so
Yeah.
you don't want them to get overdone, overcooked.
And
Can you see that?
oops,
It's Mise en Plat.
What is it?
Hold
Do
on.
it again, Kelly.
Yeah, but is it on there?
Mise en place.
Yeah.
Mise en place. Yeah. So, yeah, okay, good. Now I learned another new word.
or kind of 3 words, actually, I think.
Okay. It sounds French. Yes,
Mhm. It is.
okay.
That's what I typed in. I typed French for all ingredients in place, and that worked.
All right. All right.
I can use it. when
I'm
he
trying to
does
stretch
cooking.
this, honey, till this next video is uploaded. It does not want to happen. So I wonder if you have anything else to say, hon?
Well, I
What's
would
your
like to
or
see that
any question?
picture of the recipe because the video was frozen.
Oh, you'd like
Oh.
to see the picture of the recipe? Oh, okay, I'll pull that out. I have it right.
Send it to me. I've never seen it. Oh, I must have seen it. It looks very familiar. I know what cookbook that's from.
So that's what it looks like when it's done properly. And I've done it like that before, but I'll tell you on this next one why mine doesn't turn out like that. But you can see I named it Chicken Little at the top, so there you
Well,
go.
why, what did you do different than that recipe?
Well, it calls for flour and eggs,
Oh, really? I know mine didn't use.
paprika.
Hold on, Tom, we gotta help Tom talk. Barb, do you know how to do it on an iPad?
He's on his iPhone, he said.
iPhone?
on his
would-
iPhone.
Tom, take your
It's
finger
called
and
a
tap.
batter. B-A-T-T-E-R.
Right, it's a batter, but
With
I don't
eggs.
use,
But that's because it
Flour.
doesn't have eggs.
yeah. No, and this one doesn't have eggs, actually. It has flour and paprika, corn oil,
Uh-huh.
and chicken broth. And a
Yeah.
lot less lemon juice and a lot less capers.
Well, it's not any good, that one, you know?
Oh,
The chicken broth makes the gravy, right?
right, yeah.
So
Mhm.
Tom, if we were, what is the difference there when you put like the dry with the breadcrumbs and stuff that Cheryl is using now versus a batter?
That would be called a coating, but she dredged it in her dry ingredients, meaning she dragged it over.
Yeah.
So that's a dredge.
And what is the difference
Dry,
in
if it
in the
has
outcome?
eggs first, it's not dredging, I don't think. Is it,
No,
Tom?
Well, that's whatever you want to call it.
I don't,
Then you would dip it, right? If it's into a wet?
You would dip into a wet first.
Yeah,
then
normally
it
you put it in the
dry.
eggs first,
Oh, that's right. And then you put it with the bread.
and then you dip it in the breadcrumbs, so it makes it stick. But your chicken has to be really dry then. You can't have it oiled or salted at the
Or
beginning.
fish.
what?
Fish is the same way.
fish, yeah, it's exactly the same. Yeah,
Green fried tomatoes.
that's right.
I don't know, you have to you have to grow your own to get green tomatoes anymore.
Well, they typically have a lot of those green ones at Sanctuary, but they don't last long because Ken, I don't know if he's eating those anymore now because he's eating a different kind of diet, so he might not be eating too many fried green tomatoes, eh? Not so
You're
much.
not still getting tomatoes, are you, Tim? I mean, Tom?
Oh, no.
No, they've been gone for a while.
Well, you know what? I read someplace that if you baby your tomatoes through that worst part, that they'll come back. And one of mine just grew 3 tomatoes.
Really?
I was floored.
That's great.
I
Are we
think I
ready
only
yet,
got
Toby?
6 before.
No. It's not, honey.
That's
Sure.
why I was talking. I was trying to help y'all.
Thank you, Kelly.
Can Kelly hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
HEB sells green tomatoes most of the time in the produce section.
Mine doesn't. Do you have to ask for them?
Yes.
Ah, I'll remember that.
We're at
Does
93%
have
upload,
any?
so chat.
96%.
So I have a question, Cheryl, and this might come out in the video, but this is, you're pre-cooking the chicken and then is it baked later on in the sauce or whatever, or it's served as fried chicken?
It's served just like that, yeah, as fried
Oh.
chicken. And you'll
Oh,
see
cool.
you plate it and then you create the sauce in the same pan.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
Put over it.
And
Yeah.
what does that recipe, that recipe page call it?
What does this call it?
Uh-huh.
I told you that already. She's
Okay.
helping us in an
Nobody-
early video. Chicken breasts with lemon and capers.
Oh, it was froze, so I didn't hear.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, that's what it's called. So, Joby's.
But
gonna-
I get it at Italian restaurants, and I can't remember, one's called scallopini, and there's another one.
Typically, they call it chicken piccata, I think, a lot of them.
Yes,
right?
Scallopini has breading and piccata is like what we do.
And chicken marsala.
Yeah, but that's with
Mm.
mushrooms, right?
And
Yes.
wine.
Yeah,
Wine
wine.
sauce.
Yes.
Red wine, isn't it?
Well, Marsala wine is the type of wine that it's sauteed in.
Is that
Yes.
a red wine?
White or
Yeah,
red,
it's a red wine.
but it's usually sweet.
It's thick. It's almost like an aperitif.
Yes.
Oh.
Say that again, Jan.
Marsala wine is a red, sweet, almost aperitif, kind of like Dubonnet. If you don't have Marsala wine, you can use Dubonnet because it has a sweetness to it and makes the sauce really sort of sweet, smoky but sweet.
It's from red ripe grapes.
Mm.
Really? Okay. Cool.
We are at
The
99%.
content-
We're close.
Higher.
Okay.
It's processing has started. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but tell a joke or do a dance, okay?
I can't tell a joke or do a dance.
Oh, excuse me, I'm tired today. The capers, this is just a minute question, but you drained the capers, like
Yes.
you're not using any of the juice of the capers. It comes in a
No,
little
you
bottle,
drain,
right?
you drain the capers, yeah.
Do you rinse them?
I don't rinse them because they're going in lemon juice, but I guess you could rinse them, you know?
I think the brine adds flavor.
Do you?
Like not to
Well-
rinse them off, just to take them from the jar, but without juice from the jar, because that's really salty.
Yeah, yeah, the juice is,
Jody, it's time to go to bed.
What did she say?
oh, her phone is talking to her. And
Oh.
she's trying to get it to
15
download
seconds.
everything.
13 seconds. We're doing good, folks. You've had a wonderful little chat.
Yeah,
So the Egypt tour, the second one, is not next week, but the week after.
right. It's yeah, Barb, do you want to talk about that? It's actually the third time she's done the Egypt tour, but on the second one, we didn't have enough time. So she's doing a third one. So Barb, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yep, the second one, we focused on temples, Jane Ann. I know you've traveled there. So you've
Yes, I
probably
missed it though.
been- Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time talking about Karnak and Luxor and Abu Simbel. And so that was all, part of the one that just happened a couple weeks ago in August. And I had planned to talk about Philae Temple and Kamambo. Oh, those are the Ptolemaic ones. And I had planned on doing that and we just ran out of time. So I have just a couple of slides that are interesting on those temples. So I'll put those in. And then we're going to talk about Cairo because we haven't really done that. And talk about in the one coming up on the 20th, we're going to talk more about Cairo and the three major religions living together in Cairo. The Coptic Christian and a little bit of the history of Cairo and the oldest mosque in Egypt is in Cairo.
Into it.
so
Yeah,
forth.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I should
did
go back and watch the YouTube. If you didn't see it, it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do, I always
Kelly?
pronounce it, I always say it's hip shoe shot, but it's not that. It's the
Hatshepsut.
one, what is it?
Hatshepsut.
Hatshepsut. That's it. Okay.
Yes, we talked about hers too, the mortuary temple. Yeah.
I love that temple. I have in my
Oh.
living room, I have the big face of the woman up in a picture. I love it.
Yep. It's
Cool.
it's amazing. I mean, we talked really all about the city of Luxor, which at the time was known as Thebes, and we talked about the festival that the god went from Karnak over to Luxor for, some one-on-one time with his consort, and then back along the Avenue of Sphinxes. And so it's, it was, a lot of good stuff about those really important monuments.
Yes,
It was all World Heritage stuff.
yeah, beautiful. They're starting a new excavation. How the sphinxes are all lined up along there's a bridge there when you look down towards what would have been the Nile, but they're starting to resurrect that so that they will eventually put water in there and be able to reenact the whole, as the barges would come up and unload the stone.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
And they're really focused right now on restoring all of those cats or whatever they are along
Yeah.
I have a great picture looking down, but it hadn't been restored the way it is being restored now. So they're
Yeah.
always working on something.
Always.
I'll go back and watch the video before we do that session.
Yep. Joe, I know you're working on getting stuff uploaded. Is that in YouTube yet?
Yeah, I know. I got to get them all in order and
Okay.
up those babies up. But I do think this one final video, Cheryl, you've kept them like teeth biting and
Oh, yes, I'm
excitement and
sure.
preparation.
I think you should be passing it out, shipping it to us to taste.
Yeah, by now.
It
I
is
haven't had
honestly
dinner
one of my
yet.
favorites. There's no messing around about that. All right. I'm going to try and see if this is going to work at this point. So let me share my screen again and we'll go for the ready. And pray that. Look at that.
Welcome back. Our chicken is just about done now. And I'm going to start plating it, putting these pieces on this platter.
The video's not going.
Video's not going?
Nope.
And they look fabulous.
Yes, no?
Just the audio.
Can't hear you guys. Someone talk to me.
Just the sound, Joe.
All right, almost done. Getting those chickens out.
Let's try one more time. I can't hear you all or see you all.
Not going the whole time.
It is running now or it's not running?
No,
It's not running. All right. Let's get this because it's running on mine, but I don't have a secondary place to see it right now. Let's try again. You know what? Let me take it off HD. And I bet that might help. Let's see. Talk loud and let me know.
All right, welcome back. Our chicken is just about done now. And I'm going to start plating it, putting these pieces on this platter.
Is the video moving, my friend?
yeah,
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And they look fabulous. All right, almost done. Getting those chickens out. And let this one stay in there just a second longer because it's kind of big. All right, there we go. Take that out and it looks like it's about ready. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a slice of lemon on each piece. Normally I would put it on each piece. However, I live with Joe's mom, who doesn't like lemon on her chicken. So we're gonna leave a few pieces without any lemon on them, okay? Now we're gonna tint over and keep them a little bit warm because now we're gonna make the juice. And what you wanna do is try to dump out the juice. Extra oil, actually, is what I'm talking about, the oil. Get rid of the excess oil, but try to keep the crunchies, okay? All right, try to keep the crunchies, and I keep the paper towel in my apron just for these purposes, to get all this oil off the outside. Okay, put this back on, the skillet back on the stove. And then what we're gonna do is dump the half cup of lemon juice in and 4 ounces of capers. And
Never enough.
oh wait, for Joby, we'll dump in a few more capers just for Joby.
Thank you, honey.
So we're all set. And usually I would whisk this, but I have neglected to pull out a whisk. So I'm just gonna let it warm up really quickly here. And really all you're doing is letting it sizzle up and warm through a tad. It doesn't take any time really at all. All right. You can see
So the
it
heat-
sizzling up there a little bit.
Whoa, this.
It's warmed all up, okay?
Where are the
So-
capers for everybody
So,
else?
What you can do is if you have a family that likes all this, it's delightful to take it and just kind of dump it over your chicken very nicely. In our family, we do it differently because Mom doesn't like capers on her chicken, and Joby thinks the chicken is just a vehicle for holding capers. So what we do is we let everybody get the number of capers and stuff that they want. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour all this sauce with the capers and the crunchies and the lemon juice and put it into this little,
Syrup jar.
what do
Syrup,
you call it, a pitcher?
syrup pitcher.
It's kind of like a serving dish.
It's like a gravy bowl
It's kind of like a gravy bowl
for caper sauce.
for caper sauce. That's right.
So it's a very caper lemon with chicken crunchies, like you said, left over.
Right. Yeah.
There's got to be a name for that someday. Joby sauce, maybe.
Joby sauce. Okay. We do call it Joby sauce. So we always try to make sure we get all the capers in there.
I'll put it in the comment.
No matter what. So now we've got our chicken, we've got our caper and lemon sauce, and a little tool to put it in here. We are almost ready to eat, and we've still got a couple minutes left on our Brussels sprouts, but the chicken is tented and we're just about ready. So I will go ahead and try to see about checking those Brussels sprouts.
I'm going to go get a testimonial from Granny. Mom, how much do you love when Cheryl cooks Chicken Little?
We love it.
You love it without the lemons and without the capers.
Without the lemons and capers. It's really good.
And Bader doesn't care as long as someone will play ball with her. Right, Bader?
Where's Vader?
She's coming. She'd like you to play ball before dinner. Oh my goodness. Trauma, Cheryl, in the cooking.
Yes, I know. I opened the
How do you
oven
fix it?
one time, and so
Oh, it
just-
fixed itself.
It quit all by its own.
Magical.
So that's all magic. All right, I think we are close on the Brussels sprouts. So we will take them out and let them. They'll be kind of brown and roasted up. If they don't come out as roasted up as you would like them to be, you can leave them in a little bit longer. But these are just about right. You can see they've got a little bit of roastiness coming on them.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, so they look just about right. And I'm also using our sanctuary pot holders to hold them with. So I'm gonna get them now and put them in a little bowl so that we can go out and eat. We're gonna eat outside, which we tend to do until the weather doesn't allow us to do that.
Or we just wear appropriate clothing.
Or we just wear appropriate clothing, as Jody says, because we
'Cause I like
worry
to
about
eat
the
out-
weather.
Because I love to eat
I
outside.
mostly just like to eat outside. All right, there we go. And there I have it. And we have chicken little, Brussels
ahead.
sprouts, and we have the lemon and caper sauce to go on top of it. And I just want to say, as Ken would say, bon appetit, Buen provecho, and all y'all enjoy. Thank you.
Great
Bye.
job. Thanks, Cheryl. Great job. One more wrap.
Yeah.
Sanctuary Kitchen.
Yay.
Yay, yay, and how's that?
Oh, that looks
Oh,
great.
that looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these tomatoes might have come from Patty's house. I'm not sure, Cheryl. And this was one of our little fellows, my mom. First red ones, and tonight we had the yellow ones that were growing. So this is for Ken. Tom, please. I know he's not feeling well tonight, but make sure we let him know that we ended the show properly.
What
You know.
is that? Italian? Bien provecho?
Go.
That's Italian, yeah.
Italian?
Yep.
And then Texan.
Yeah. I knew that one.
Cheryl?
Thank you all for coming and watching the Chicken Little.
What do you think the capers add? Like it sounds like they could be really
Everything.
good with just lemon.
Capers have everything. They add
They're
everything.
salty and briny.
Yeah, salty
Yeah.
and briny kind of, yeah. And when they're in the lemon juice, it takes away a little bit of the bite to them or something, but it kind of adds to it too. It's really, really
Joe,
good
did you
flavor.
see what I put in the comments for you?
I did, yes.
You'll have to
Lemon
try that.
pepper.
Yeah.
Tuna. Mix it with. Okay. All right. I'll take a look at that, Kelly.
It reminds me of Spain, Cheryl, when you do it like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you do it your way. Yeah, Jane, I think, you know, what's interesting that, Cheryl was telling the story, making it a little bit funny, but it was true. I think that meal would not have caught my attention without the capers. And it might just be that, you know how chicken can get very boring, or you have to really dress it up and do different things. I think people have lemon chicken all the time, but adding the capers and just for show, but also like you're saying that really salty flavor mixed
Mhm.
with the sharpness of the lemon.
Yes.
First per se. Yeah, it's quite something.
Nice.
One of our faves.
I
Absolutely.
just bought chicken today. I'm gonna try it.
When I get in Italian restaurants, I serve it with angel hair pasta and that sauce all over both of them.
Oh Lordy,
Nice.
that would be amazing.
Oh,
Cheryl, we
yeah.
should try that.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Just a tiny
Right.
bit of pasta underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that.
What were you saying, Edie?
Yeah, I made it. So there was a similar recipe in what's that, Barefoot Contessa, one of her books. She makes the chicken the same way, and then and the capers would be fine, and serve it on a bed of greens or lettuce or arugula or something with some nice big pieces of shaved Parmesan.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and it's real good, but you prepare the chicken the same way, except that I think she does a coat with egg and or milk, and then dredges in the breadcrumbs. But
Yeah.
But thank you for reminding me of that recipe, because I had forgotten about that recipe, and I think I lost that cookbook in the divorce.
And
Well,
was that,
Edie, on that
was
note, hon, you'll have a new cookbook very shortly. We are up upon
Yes.
deadline ourselves
And-
and about to submit the sanctuary cookbook. We're hoping to have it.
Well, and I made the Coke salad for little potluck not long after Ken showed how to make it, and got 2 requests for the recipe, and I said, stand by, the recipe book's coming out.
Best way to get referrals for the book.
The Coke
absolutely.
salad. The Coke salad was a hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Make
And
it
you know,
another day.
yeah. Well, our goal is to have this, all the submissions mailed in, I think, early next week, and then back for Thanksgiving and time to ship for Christmas. So if you're thinking of Christmas gifts right now, stop it. Just stop it. We will ship you as many as you need. I promise you. And those kids going off to school, Edie, they need to know a couple of these wonderful recipes, don't they?
Do you,
Oh, yeah.
do you want the sanctuary shortbread that I did in your book?
Pardon, Jeannie? Can't see you.
Do
'cause-
you want the shortbread recipe I used that I shipped out to everybody in your book?
Oh, I don't know. If we, oh,
Sorry.
is there time, Cheryl?
What?
Did you hear Jane Ann? She said.
I
we want
heard
the
that.
shortbread recipe.
That's kind of a Ken and Barb and Tom question. I don't know if we can, if we
Oh.
have. I
Just
don't
mark it.
know where we are with the number of recipes. They're in charge of that part.
Barb, is there room for a
That would
shortbread?
be awesome.
Just let me know.
Okay. yeah, that'd be
Jane Ann, why
awesome.
don't you send it? And the last time I saw the outline of the sections, we were really, really strong on main dishes, entrees and things, and not as strong on cookies
That's okay.
and desserts
No
and
problem.
things. But no,
if you
so I'm
send it,
saying
that'd be
we could
awesome.
probably use more for those
I'll
sections.
send it to you
Yeah, that would be great.
you.
Thank you.
with some photos.
Good,
Excellent.
because I
That'd be
didn't
awesome,
get
yeah.
it.
Well, we're not going to be able to have photos in the book, but
Oh, no photos? Okay.
I know it's,
Yeah.
it's the cost of them, Jane Ann, you'd be shocked. I mean,
Yes, I know.
It's like per book, every photo is 10 cents per book. And pretty soon you're like, we're trying to keep them very reasonable and yet also trying to be able to price them up a little bit as a fundraiser. But if you could throw that in the mail, is any chance you could do that tonight or early morning, Jane Ann? Because I know Ken was typing, he's in final type of recipes today. We're in final type of the sanctuary story today. But definitely if you could get that in maybe early tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to just type it I'll just type it. Yeah. I was in a lavender farm a couple of weeks ago and bought culinary grade lavender that can go in to shortbread as well. So I'm waiting to try that, but I'll just send you the
Wow.
original. It's a original Scottish from the 1800s. It was the peasant's shortbread and it's called Agnes's shortbread.
Wow.
Well,
that's
But it's what
awesome.
I used when I do my 6,000 cookies every year. It's what I use. It's what everybody that ordered it from Sanctuary got. So
oh my
Wow.
gosh.
excellent.
That'd be awesome.
And
yeah.
I have a recipe that uses rosemary in the shortbread. It is really good too.
oh,
All right,
okay.
that is
It
another,
is really
that's
good.
another
I've
show.
enjoyed that.
That's
yeah.
another whole thing. Cool though.
right,
Love it.
I'm gonna stop our recording and remind you again for the 20th, Barb for Egypt, and I will get those other videos loaded, and then 27 is for our book this month. So be blessed, be safe, wash your hands.
Okay.
I would pay more for a cookbook